Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. In Budget 2011, which year was unemployment forecast to fall below 5%? And when does Treasury now predict unemployment to fall below 5%?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, in Budget 2011, Treasury predicted unemployment would fall below 5% in the 2012-13 year. Right now it's updating its forecast for the half-year economic and fiscal update, which will be released in December. I would expect that it would be some years later that unemployment will fall below 5%.
The Honourable David Pack. Point of order, the Honourable David Pack.
Mr. Speaker, that question was on notice and it didn't ask about what Treasury's future projections were. It asked what its current projection is when it will predict unemployment to fall below 5%.
If the Minister has that information, that would be helpful. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, just checking the information further. In budget, if by now the member means Budget 2012, which is the most recent Treasury projection back in May, they forecast unemployment would go below 5% in 2015-16.
The Honourable David Parker.
Supplementary. Does he stand by his election promise to create 170,000 more jobs by 2015? And if so, how many extra jobs have been created since that promise was made?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it was a forecast, not a promise, because unlike the Labor Party, the government doesn't actually create jobs directly. In fact, government jobs are shrinking. Government jobs are shrinking. It's businesses that create jobs, and there have been tens of thousands new jobs. There are more New Zealanders than ever in a job today.
The Honourable David Parker.
According to the quarterly employment survey, did the number of filled full-time jobs increase or decrease in the September quarter?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think the quarterly employment survey had the number of full-time jobs decreasing, the number of part-time jobs increasing. And in part of the increase in those part-time jobs is likely to include people who are responding to the government's clear signals about changes in welfare policy and therefore are taking up part-time work where they weren't before. We regard that as success. Of course we'd like to see more full-time jobs, but in the last quarter there weren't more full-time jobs.
The Honourable David Parker.
According to yesterday's quarterly employment survey, are there more jobs or fewer jobs in the manufacturing industry than there were a year ago?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, I think the survey shows there are fewer jobs in the manufacturing industry, but they still haven't been able to manufacture a crisis in the way that the opposition are trying to. The fact is we have grumpy growth. We are going to grow between 2 and 3% pretty consistently. Some sectors and some businesses are losing jobs. Some sectors and some businesses are flat out trying to recruit people, in fact can't get the skills that they need. We would expect this will be the pattern for the foreseeable future.
The Honourable David Parker.
In the history of the quarterly employment survey data series, which goes back to 1989, has there ever been a quarter with fewer filled jobs in manufacturing than in the September 2012 quarter?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know the answer to that, but I would warn the member that you can't run economic policy off quarterly surveys, particularly when quarterly figures are so volatile.
Point of order.
Point of order, the Honourable David Parker.
I seek leave to table a document from the Parliamentary Library showing the number of filled jobs in the manufacturing sector is at the lowest recorded since the data series began in 1989.
Leave us sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 5, Materia Ture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of